So now we're into the second round of the playoffs. That means two things. The Stanley Cup is getting close to being awarded, and also this is a unique year because we have another expansion draft this time around for the first time in 4 years. So I'm going to be focusing on the Ottawa Senators, as you can see by the title of this video. And I'm going to name off these names here who I think they should protect and also who I think they will protect. I think it's pretty similar though, who I think they should or will protect. So let's get into it. So Seattle will be the 32nd team coming into the league this fall, and you're allowed two options of protecting your roster. Obviously there's the 7 forwards and 3 defensemen and 1 goalie, or 8 skaters and 1 goalie. I'm going to go ahead and say this. I'm going to assume more than likely there's a great chance the Ottawa Senators are going to protect 7 forwards and 3 defensemen and 1 goalie rather than the 8 skaters and 1 goalie, just because I think they have some good defensemen. But one thing the Sens do have going for them in this expansion draft, as opposed to the Vegas expansion draft, easy for me to say, is that they have a lot of young guys who are exempt this time around, and they don't have to worry as much about who they got to protect. It's pretty easy who they have to protect this time around compared to last time, where they had a much more veteran team 4 years ago, and that left them with some hard decisions. Obviously there was the infamous Dion Phaneuf not wanting to waive his no movement clause, and that kind of seemed to have a ripple effect. And obviously Vegas ended up taking Mark Method. He moved on to Dallas. Method no longer playing, obviously. But like I said, the Sens are in a much better spot this time around. Alright, so at the forward position, I'm going to go with this. Brady Tkachuk, Drake Batherson, Connor Brown, Evgeny Dadonov, Nick Paul, Chris Tierney, and Colin White. Those are the 7 forwards. The defense, Thomas Chabot, Nikita Zaitsev, and Victor Mete. And the goalie, this was the hardest one for me to decide. I think they should protect Philip Gustafsson. I think they're going to protect Matt Murray, though. I think losing Gustafsson would be a big blow for the Ottawa Senators. They have a great goalie in Gustafsson, and he played really well down the stretch, and he showed a lot of good things. So for Ottawa, I think they would be well advised to keep Gustafsson and protect him instead of Murray. Now, there might be some unpopular picks on that protected list for the Ottawa Senators that I've chosen, most notably Evgeny Dadonov and Chris Tierney. But let me put it this way. I highly resent the idea of the Ottawa Senators leaving Chris Tierney exposed. Did Chris Tierney have a good year last year? No, not really. Do I think he can bounce back? Absolutely, yes. I think he can bounce back. I think Tierney is a guy who's very valuable. He's solid on the penalty kill. He's a little frustrating offensively at times. He can leave you wanting more there. I think he does have more offense to his game than what he's shown. Let's remember his first year, I believe he was a 45-point guy, if I'm not mistaken, his first year in Ottawa. And obviously as the talent around him kind of dwindled. I mean, this year it was okay, but in the 1920 season it kind of dwindled a bit, so his numbers took a hit. Evgeny Dadonov, a lot of people seem to want him exposed just because he didn't put out a lot of great production for what he's getting paid either. I think that would be a mistake too, to expose Dadonov. I think he's a guy who can bounce back as well next year. I think he can put up more points on the power play too. That would really go a long way for Dadonov and the Sens. And I think it would be a mistake in general for them to expose him just because of one bad year. Notable exposures, Austin Watson, Logan Brown, Josh Brown, Matt Murray, and I guess Clark Bishop. I guess he played himself into being notable enough. They did re-sign him too, by the way, to a 1-year deal. So those are the notable exposures. Some people want Austin Watson protected over Chris Tierney. I totally disagree with that. No, Austin Watson should not be protected over Chris Tierney. While Watson plays hard, he's fearless, he'll get his body in front of any type of shot in the world. Good for him. I think Chris Tierney does provide more to the team, though, than Austin Watson in general as far as penalty killing. While Watson does kill penalties too, I think Tierney is a more adept penalty killer than Watson. And I think Tierney does have more offensive upside than Watson too, so it would be a big mistake for them to protect Austin Watson over Chris Tierney. On the back end, I mean, obviously Chabot's a no-brainer. Zaitsev, yeah, I think they should protect him too. He's a good player for them. Am I crazy about his contract? No, not really. But the Sens, they have a lot of guys that are exempt, and you're probably thinking, oh, what about Josh Norris, Tim Stützle, Artem Zub? Well, fortunately, those guys are all exempt, so the Sens don't even have to use a spot of protection on them. They're exempt, or you have to play over 2 years of professional hockey to meet the requirements of being exposed or having to have your team protect you, if you know what I mean. So for the Sens, fortunately, they have a lot of young players, and they're in a really good spot this year for expansion compared to the last time we had expansion 4 years ago. Victor Mete too, I'm just waiting and dying for them to re-sign this guy. I'm excited to see what he can do. As we all know, the Sens claimed him off waivers and didn't have to give up anything in return for him. So that was a really smart move by Pierre Dorion. Victor Mete, great skater, great puck mover. And I think the Sens will absolutely protect him as well. I think that's also a no-brainer. So those are my thoughts on the Ottawa Senators' upcoming protected list for the expansion draft. That's who I think they are going to protect, and I think it lines up pretty well with who they will protect. I think that's a pretty educated guess anyways. But I don't know, I get this sick feeling in my stomach that they're gonna protect Austin Watson over Chris Tierney. For some reason, I know that's gonna happen. I know some people want that, like I mentioned earlier. I highly disagree with that. Please, Pierre Dorion, don't do it. If Seattle takes Logan Brown, yeah, that won't be great, but you know what? I don't know if Logan Brown is going to be a great player who we thought he was going to be in this league anyways, so it's not the end of the world if they do take Logan Brown. But let me know all that and more in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you guys, and send me your own protected list that you think the Sens will use. And am I wrong? Is this line up pretty well with what you guys think as well? So let me know all that and more in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe and share this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you all again soon.